you don't want to be done for filming something you shouldn't have filmed. And in fact, let's go down that little rabbit hole here. David Bowie. I'm going to call him Bowie, not Bowie, because I grew up with everyone called him David Bowie, including everyone on TV and everything. So I'm just gonna call him David Bowie, for God's sake. The guy's dead now, so he's not going to complain. Right, David Bowie. Here's a lovely picture of him with a Canon Canon 1210, which was basically a massive lens with a little camera on the end. Very, very nice camera. Beautiful camera. It can zoom 12 times. It's like it can zoom even more than the Canon 1014 XLS. What happened was David Bowie didn't like to fly if he didn't have to. So after doing a show, one of his Ziggy Stardust shows, you can see from the red hair, he did a show in Japan. He finished his tour in Japan, and then he took the Trans-Siberian Express. And when he got to Russia, a couple of guys on the ferry from Japan to Russia befriended him, started talking to him, started asking him about what he was up to and what he was doing. They didn't know he was David Bowie. They just thought he was a very weird-looking Westerner. Turns out they were KGB. And when he got to Russia, and when he got on the train, they gave him this document, which I have a nice printout of. I'm going to read you. The document basically tells all Westerners what they can and can't take pictures of in the USSR, which is fascinating because I grew up, I remember my mum telling me, don't know how she knew, she said, you're not allowed to even take a picture of a bridge in Russia because they'll come and get you. I thought, what? A bridge? Who cares about bridges? But yeah, it's true. So let's have a look at some of the things you are forbidden to take photographs or make drawings of. You can't even draw a picture of these things, okay? So, firstly, in the 25-kilometer frontier zone, except for places and localities which foreigners may visit, where you may photograph the objects described in the left-hand column. That's the permitted column. It's a bit boring, the permitted column. If I have time, I'll tell you about that. It's not like it's relevant. A great picture of him in Red Square. Look at that guy beside him. That guy is keeping an eye on him for sure. Okay, you can't take pictures of military equipment, military installations, military institutions, fuel storage places. Damn, they stopped David Bowie from taking pictures of fuel storage places. Harbors in seaports, large hydroelectric installations. Obviously, the small ones are okay. Railroad junctions. That's a bit difficult if you're filming out the window of the Trans-Siberian Express. There he is, David. You can't take pictures of industrial enterprises, scientific research institutions, design offices, laboratories, electric power stations, radio beacons, radio stations, telephone exchanges. How would you even recognize one of those if you saw it? Telegraph exchanges. You also weren't allowed to take pictures from airplanes in flight over Soviet territory. That's a bit, I understand, but it's a bit sad because, when you're on a plane, you've got a Canon 1210. For God's sake, you want to use that amazing zoom lens, take a picture of a few seconds and film some stuff. Surface panoramic photographs and sketches of industrial cities. So, David Bowie on the Trans-Siberian Express, he must have been, he must have been a bit careful. He must have said to him, I can't take pictures of hydroelectric installations. I can't do a David Bowie speaking impression because he had a quite normal, bland voice, but everyone can do a David Bowie singing impression. Can't take military installations. Where am I going to get my inspiration? There we go. There's a song right there. And the stuff you can take pictures of, well, it's a bit boring. Stadiums, streets and squares, housing, scenes and landscapes, providing none of the objects listed in the right-hand column or in the background. You can take pictures of state and collective farms. That's fascinating. Civilian airports. Well, that's surprising. I thought airports would be right off the list. river ports, social organizations. These are stuff you can film. Theaters, parks of culture and rest, stadiums. Oh, I said that. Architectural monuments, cultural and medical institutions. So they basically were concerned that David Bowie was going to go around, that he was basically an MI6 spy, and take pictures of all their military installations from the Trans-Siberian Express. Amazing bit of history there. Manny says, those are all my favorite things to shoot. Fuel dumps are so cool. Fuel dumps. Oh, look, there's a fuel dump. I'm going to take a picture. Ground control. Anyway, there was a metal detector in McDonald's when I was at Red Square says UK Airsoft. I assume that was after the fall of communism, when everything became a bit more dangerous, even more dangerous than it was before. There was, in fact, I mentioned to my wife, oh my God, the Trans-Siberian Express sounds like so much fun. I'd love to do that. And she said, well, not now. She said, back in Soviet times, it was safe. Now it's not safe. I'll take her word for it. Anyway, so there we go. David Bowie, God rest his soul. I would love to know what he filmed.